Hi, my name is Grace Kent Johnson. I'm the owner and co-founder of Bread. Today, I think it would be really important just to tell you a little bit about our story, how we were formed and why, and how we've changed over the past few years. One of my big background pieces is being behind the camera. So our videographer, I'm usually with him, working to tell stories. So I've been behind the camera doing branding for about 7, 8 years. I came from a background in architecture, and so the built environment is really, really precious to me. I enjoy thinking about the experience that someone's going to have. And coming from a background in branding, it's about how can this brand and this place impact the way that someone feels. So knowing those things, I was also raised in a family that people are the most important thing. After Jesus, it's people. And I wanted to make sure that when we created a company, that it was a place where everyone came and they felt like it was full of life, that it was a life-giving place. So small things, like what we were going to name the company. I wanted it to be a place where people could breathe and they could feel life-fulfilling, and I want it to be a place of movement. People could come in and out of the office, and it wasn't stagnant, and you weren't accepted here. Everybody's accepted here. That's what I wanted to create, a life-giving environment. Our original name was Creative Bread Studio, and the reason why we did that is because it basically is the name Creative Life Studio. I wanted everyone in here to know that you are a creative. Whether you feel it or not, you're a creative here, and we're going to treat you like you are a collaborative piece of what makes things beautiful. And then the life piece. We wanted to be a life-building place, and bread is a symbol of life. We know that there is a bread of life. And then studio. No walls, no barriers, no dividing lines. We know that everybody coming together in one place, in one space, a studio environment, is very, very important, and that's a big value to us, is knowing that our team feels that this is a place of creativity, it's a life-giving place, and this is a studio environment. We are all about collaboration. So while we were building an agency that was a creative life studio environment, we were working with companies and we were working with communities, developers, the executive team, the brand management team, the creative team, the executive level, and working with them in any way that they would need to grow their business, to grow their community. One thing that I noticed was when we would dig into the culture piece of an actual brand, of an organization or a community, we found that there was a lot of conflict. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of conflict within organizations and in communities. And so I went back to my desk, and after a very silly cry at my desk, I thought we've got to do something to impact businesses and communities in a bigger and more in-depth way. And so we looked and I talked, and my brother is in the lane of psychology. My dad is a medical provider that works with children in their educational development and behavior. And I talked with them, and my husband, he's also a counselor, and confided in them. How can I best impact these communities and these brands that we're working with? I don't want to just be surface level. I want to be somebody who can help them connect with their purpose, but then integrate it throughout the entire system of the organization. And so quickly I was turned to industrial organizational psychology, which that's what they do. They go into industries and they work on the psychology piece with organizations and with the community. So I thought, that's what I want. I want to impact in a deeper, richer, more valuable way. I don't want it to just be surface level. And so that's when we decided to rebrand and recommunicate who we were. We were no longer just built around the creative, and I didn't want that to be confusing for organizations when they were looking towards us for help. I wanted them to know that this is just a place where you can reconnect with life. You can reconnect with your purpose. And so we knew what word we had to keep, which was the life word, bread. And so during that rebrand process, we grew a organizational development lane and division of our company, and we also grew an organizational therapy lane to our company. The organizational development works with an entire system. It works with the entire organization, the entire team. We also work with communities, the entire county, the entire school, the entire city, all the different pieces, business owners, property owners, influencers in the community. We get all of these leaders to the table and we work on the entire organizational structure. We bring all of the mess, all the conflict to the surface, and we start to work through those things. That is rich, that is deep. And we figure out a way that we can connect their brand with what the people out there who they say the community is, with how the organization of that community is running. We find just a lot of conflict and a lot of misunderstanding about the main values and the richness of the story of that place. One thing that people look to is they need to feel good. A community sometimes will say, I need a marketing campaign because the community just needs an uplift. We need to feel good. Well, we know that no marketing campaign can fix the main issues. And so while, yes, we do marketing campaigns, we do rebrands, we do all the creative, we do the websites, we do anything and everything to help communicate your story. We do videography with our incredibly talented team. But that wasn't touching the heart and soul of what that community would need. So we do this deep enriching part, which is organizational redevelopment, getting everybody around the table, breaking bread together. That's a big, big thing to us. With all the division within the community and division within an organization, we say, okay, everybody, we're gonna stop what we're gonna do. We're not gonna communicate on marketing materials, but we're gonna focus on unifying. Our positioning statement is unify by bread. We believe if you can get everybody around the table together, breaking bread with one another, that's powerful. That's unity. And Ben T, he's an economic developer that works with us. His big statement is communities that are unified, they win projects they never should have won. Communities and organizations that are divided, they lose projects they never should have lost. We're in the business of unifying to help you be successful. That's what we care about. That's what touches our hearts. That's what makes us tick. We even go a step further and we say, okay, let's work with just the executive leadership team. Maybe it's just one-on-one with an executive or any individual that works within the actual culture of a business or a community. That's where organizational therapy. We have world-class therapists that work on our team with 40 plus years of experience in therapy. It works. It's important for those people to feel heard, for your executives to know that they have someone on their side that's helping them work through the day-to-day and building an organization and a community that they're proud of, because it's true to who that business and that community really is. We don't make things around here. We listen and we sit back and we hear the story, and then we help you work through any conflict or any issues that you're having, and then we bring our incredible creative team to you, and then we pull in that story, and then we put it out there into the world. The biggest thing for us is that we can't tell a story that's not true internally. The internal culture, the internal organization, if there's a veil on top of it and you're wanting to communicate something that's just not true, it won't be successful. There's no story that can do a good enough job at telling something that's just not true. So we impact the core. We get the core on truth and purity of who the story or what the story really is and why this organization, why this community is special. Once we can do that through our organizational development, organizational therapy, then the possibilities just open up in the most beautiful ways. And then we can bring our teams and we can capture those stories. Then we can tell them. And then somebody can show up at that business. Somebody can show up at that community and say, wow, I saw a story video piece about you, or I saw a billboard out there about you, or I saw this big campaign or this big commercial. That was so right. I'm here and I'm feeling exactly what I saw. That's pure. That's pure business. That's pure community. And pure is very, very powerful. because you're not going to find out something later that is a disconnect. So the consistency of what people are seeing, the exceptional story that they hear, but then when they're exposed to it and it's truly authentic, it makes people fall in love. And that's what we do here, is we make sure that who you are internally aligns with everything that's going out there in the universe. I'm proud of our team. I am so proud of what we continue to build. We are very, very true to our values. We spend just as much time inside our organization taking care of one another as we do taking care of our clients. I'm very sincere about that. I want my team to be healthy. I want our creative team to go out and explore and don't be locked behind a desk all the time, and see the world and see what's out there, absorb cultures, absorb creativity, and it's freeing and it's freedom for them. And our organizational team, we're certified in mediation. We're certified in a lot of really sticky things because we want to come to you prepared. And that's what we are. We are prepared. We're prepared to help. In our most sincere place in our hearts, we value your story. We truly, truly do. We want to listen to you. We want to help you figure out what your needs are. And then we want to do everything we possibly can to work through those needs, connect with your story, and then communicate it in the most beautiful way. We hope that this gives you a little bit better insight into who we are, and what our hearts really are all about and what we value here. But we value stories. We value the purity of your organization. We value people. And if you feel like your company or your community is unhealthy, we want to help. We want to help touch on that holistic approach for growth, developing strategies, visions, and goals to make your tomorrow better and more successful. Thank you.